Hi fashion lovers, you're welcome to another tutorial. It's your girl StylebyDimma. In today's edition, we are going to be learning how to make penciled skirt with an overlap slit and then elastic at the two sides of the waist with butt and hip contour. So if this is what you're interested in, stay tuned and watch this video to the end. Thank you to all my existing subscribers, and if this is the first time of you hearing my voice and coming across my video, do well to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and leave me a comment in the comment section. All right, let's get started. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to be subtracting 1 inch from the waist of the skirt. Like I'll minus 1 inch. Of course, I'm trying to eliminate the savage you grab, so that chalk line is my starting point. So from there, I'll subtract 1 inch, mark the hip length, mark the waist to the knee length, and then mark the full length with extra 3 inches for the folding allowance. Now on the waistline, because the skirt is going to be having an elastic on the waist, do well to use your hip measurement on the waistline. Okay, for this one, you can also go ahead and subtract 1.5 inches from your actual hip, then subtract, divide it by 4 and place it on the waist measurement. This is to give it more shape, okay, because it's a penciled skirt. Now on the knee length, whatever you have on the hip line, subtract 1.5 to 2 inches, and you will do the same thing on the full length area. This is because it is still a pencil skirt and we need it to be more fitted. Okay, it's just the waist that is going to be kind of big, though after we finish and we add the elastic, it will now be shrinked in together. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark my darts and I will do well to cut this off. So after we have finished cutting, you will see that the down area is very fitted and very pressed. So at this point, I'm doing well to be sure that the allowance I gave is equal on all the sides before I notch you grab. So after we have finished cutting and joining with the lining, this is what the skirt is going to be looking like. So the main fabric is going to be longer than the lining with 3 inches. Because it is an overlap slit, I'm going to be marking 3 inches for the zipper allowance. Okay, you can even do 4 or 5 depending on how much you want it to overlap, but I use 3 inches. Now on these 3 inches, I will now place the front of the clothes that I've already cut, at the front part, place it on that line, and from that line come out by 1/2 inch. This is for the butt contour. Okay, now you will now go ahead and mark from your waistline to where the buttock stops. That is where the 1/2 inch is going to stop, and we'll go ahead and connect it up together like so. You grab. So from that 1/2 inch line, you can now do well to take your zipper allowance, either 1 inch, 1.5, or 2 inches. For me, I use 2 inches. Now this zipper allowance is going to stop right on that knee area. You grab. So I'll go ahead and mark it towards the knee area like so. After I finish marking it, this is what the zipper allowance is going to be looking like, and I'll do well to get my scissors and I'll cut out the back piece. Okay, so and I'll notch the full length area also for the back. You grab. So after now, I'll still go ahead and cut off the waist area and then trim off that excess, that little excess I have on the zip area. Then you see where I told us that the zipper will be stopping on the knee line. Go ahead and slit open the remaining parts of the back. Voila, the back part is ready. So don't forget to notch out your zipper allowance. Okay, so for the front, you come down by 1/2 inch because the waist is kind of slanted towards the front area. It's not that straight. So that's what I'm just doing now, and I'll do well to remark the darts. So if we finish attaching the line and turning it out, this is what the fabric is going to be looking like. Don't forget, it is a neat finish outfit, the skirt. Okay, so you see where that full length is. Fold your lining, fold your main fabric like this after you've placed it on your lining. So the fabric is going to be longer than lining with whatever sewing allowance you left. For me, I left 3 inches. So watch closely what I'm cutting. You see how I cut the lining. So after you finish cutting it, after I finish cutting, I'll show you what I mean by folding the lining, and the main fabric should be longer than the lining with your sewing allowance. So you see, so this is what we are going to have after we finish joining them up. So I'll go ahead and join that of the front and the back, and I'll bring it to short. Now this is what we have after I finish joining. This is the finished up of it, the down part, you grab, and this is the back piece. This is also for the front piece. All right, so after now, I'll do how to bring in the back piece, and I'll mark whatever is left for my zipper allowance. You know I use 1/2 inch to turn this out, okay? So I'm definitely going to be left with 1.5 inches. So I'll mark it straight down like this, and I'll sew it just like what I marked. Just watch closely the way I'm marking. I'll sew it straight down like this, and I'll mark. Don't worry about the zipper. I added my zipper after I finished everything. Okay, so for the zipper, you can just come down by 8 inches or 9 inches from the waistline, and then the remaining side, you sew it and leave it to the knee line. You see how it's overlapped. So now get the front and the back, sorry, do well to place them together, and I'll go ahead and shape it up with whatever measurements I'm supposed to shape it up. So you do well to do yours like this. Now after putting them together, do well to give it a very neat press, especially on the back towards the slit area. Now towards that overlapping slit, go ahead and open it up. That's after ironing. Go ahead and open it up like this and get your hemming gum. Yes, get a hemming gum and open. You see this part now, you see where I want to put the hemming gum, so that part will not be opening if my client wears this clothes, and or let it not be ripping off. Okay, so you get your hemming tape or hemming gum. Do well to use it and gum them up together, like place them up together like so. So after placing, I will go ahead and use my steam iron to iron it up, and it is no longer going to be frilling around or moving around when my client wears and is working. You grab. So that is the essence of this hemming gum now that I just added. So you can do how to do yours like this. It's going to be very neat and very perfect. Look at what it is looking like on the inside. You see what the inside is looking like and what the outside is looking like. So for the waistband, the front is shorter than the back, and for the waistband, go ahead and mark around the waist what you have. You understand? Go ahead and mark it round. Whatever thing you have, do well to note that that's what we are going to use to cut the waistband. Okay, so that's what we are going to use. For me, I had 46.5 or thereabout. So I'll go ahead and cut a long strip of a long fabric that's measuring 47 inches. That 1/2 inch that I added is for the sewing allowance, and the width is 4 inches on fold, like 2 inches, 2 inches. You grab. You understand? So when I finish folding it together, I'll go and have 4 inches, 2 inches. So for the elastic, I use elastic of 5.5 inches. You can even use 6 depending on what you want to have. And I've gone ahead to put my zipper halfway. I'll go ahead and get the band like this, fold it this way, and stitch it all round. I'll take this to my sewing machine now for better understanding and better explanation. So we are here on the machine. You know the bands that will cut, fold it in facing you like this, and stitch it round on the waist of the skirt. So you go ahead and stitch it around first of all before proceeding to add the elastic. You understand? So that is what we have here, and that's what I'm going to do here right away, and I'll bring it to show us. So when I get to the end of it, I'll still trim off the excess I have and fold it in like so, and then finish it up. Okay, so that is that about that. So now I'll go ahead for the elastic. The way we are going to put it, from the dart of the skirt, like the back dart, go ahead and mark 1 inch towards the side seam. Okay, 1 inch towards the side seam, and from the front dart also mark 1 inch inside towards the side seam. So we are going to be shrinking this from this distance to the other distance with the elastic. I don't know if I'm making sense. Come in by 1 inch from the dart towards into the side seam, and then from the front dart come in, go out by 1 inch also into the side seam. So when we shrink them up, this is what we are going to have. So we'll go ahead and stitch the elastic from one of those marked ends. You know, we mark them up. So stitch one here on the front side, and then do well to stitch the other one towards the back. You understand? So when you're stitching, do well to double stitch, do well to back stitch like that, so that it does not rip off and it's firm. So I'll do for the other side, and I'll also go ahead and run this stitch on one of the sides also to secure them together before we can continue. So this is for the second part. I've stitched that first one. This is now for the second part that I want to stitch. You understand? So this is what we are going to be having, and then we'll return to finish it off. So when we are done stitching, this is what we're going to have. You see how drawing is going to be. So it's now time to fold in and give it the neat finish. You grab. So I want to, for you, first of all, fold in that part you put the elastic, because if you're going to start from the beginning, it is going to affect the elastic area. So do well to hide the elastic inside the waistband like so, and then give it a top stitch. Like fold it and fold it again to give it a top stitch, so that you cover up all the rough edges. Okay, please don't sew on the elastic. Do well not to sew on the elastic. You understand? So that is what we are going to be doing now. And while you are trying to cover this up, top stitch it, please drag out the elastic. You drag it out, stretch it, just like as if you're making an elastic waistband for a pant or a short knicker. So you drag it out so that it can be even on all the sides. All right, fashion lovers, if you have watched this video at this point and you've not subscribed to this channel, I don't really know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment in the comment section. This will make the algorithm know that yes, something valuable is going on here. Okay, all right. Thank you so much to all my existing subscribers. I love you all. You guys make me feel so excited and always want to post more videos on my channel. Thank you very much, and God bless. So after now, you see what we have. You see how stretchy it is. I will go ahead and finish up the remaining parts. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish it up. So by the time I'm done, this is what I have, right? But then that side is not laying smooth, so I want it to sit smooth. So you see that other part that will join the elastic. I'll go ahead and now join it towards the front and the back. Initially it was just on one side, so now I'll go ahead and tack it up so that everything will be laying smooth and neat. You understand? I'll do this on both of the sides. I've done the first one. I'll go ahead and do it on the second one now, so that the elastic will be having a base, like it will not just be frilling. So after I finish, I will drag the elastic and sew one line of stitch on it, just like we used to do for elastic waistband for trouser. So I'll just go ahead and make sure I'm dragging the elastic. While you're sewing this one, please do well to drag your elastic and then match one line stitch, and that will be all. You understand? So this is how to go about the waistband, the rubber waist for your pencil skirt. So I'll go ahead and repeat exactly this same process for the other side of the waistband, and I'll bring it in to show us what the final result is looking like. Please do pardon me. The reason I'll do this, I'll do the remaining one the way I mentioned, is so that this video wouldn't be unnecessarily too long. You understand? So if there's any part you don't understand, you can just do well to rewind it or take it back so that you will get exactly what you want to get. It's just the same process for the both side of the elastic band. You understand? So I've gone ahead to fix the both of them. It's just the finishing part that is remaining, and after this now I'll do well to finish up the zipper, and voila, the skirt is perfectly ready. Our elastic waistband and overlapping slit skirt is perfectly ready, and I will show us the last result. So this is what the last result is looking like. You see what the front is looking like, and this is for the back. You see that area that we use for butt contour, and this is what the inside is looking. You see how overlapped the slit is. So no matter how the client works, her laps is not going to be showing. That is why it's called an overlap slit. You understand? All right, like this video and give me a comment in the comment section. Do well to tag me when you're going to recreate. See you in the next one. Bye.